Alright everyone, Cowboy Trades here, welcome back to the channel for another update on Kadena. So Kadena's seen a nice bullish rally in the past week from as low as 50 cent up to 72 cent. We saw a 43% rally. Now in this video I want to talk about, can we expect further continuation and how can we make money on both scenarios in this market. So let's dive right into the video. First of all, I want to talk about what is happening in the higher time frames and personally what I'd like to see happen before talking about what I'm actually seeing develop in the lower time frames. Now, first of all, in the higher time frames, as we have been outlining on the channel, we quite recently found a huge monumental level of support at this volume cluster around about 50 cent. We had a sharp rally from the 50 cent support, and since then, like we said, we've been on a 42% rally. We saw the daily stochastic RSI take a turn from 0 up to 100, and in the lower time frames, some of these oscillators may be looking like they're about to top out. Now, weekly time frame is a different perspective, so this is really what I want to focus on. Weekly time frame is saying we could go up a little bit. I want to backtrace some of the data and talk about what I want to see and what I am seeing. So if we start off on our first chart over here on the weekly time frame, what we've been looking at, what we've been talking about in the past few videos is two different scenarios. Now, what I personally want to see is both of these scenarios play out so we can trade both the bearish and the bullish side of the markets. This is what I want to see. I want to see scenario one, the bullish scenario, play out where we once again rally all the way back up to the bull market support bands and the weekly EMA ribbons. Now, veterans of the channel know that we've previously made lots of very successful trades on Kadena shorting reversions to the mean. What we've been doing, for example, in our most recent trade, we watched Kadena rally all the way up to $1.12, hit the bull market support bands, hit the weekly EMA ribbons, and we entered a short from $1.12 all the way down until 69 cent. Once we hit 69 cent, we told you we're sitting on the sidelines and we're waiting for that next position of strength to reveal itself. And if we are playing the bullish side of the markets, what we'd want to see is a rally all the way up to between about 86 to 90 cent. This is personally what I want to see. Now, why do I want to see this? Well, like we just said previously, we've made lots of shorts on these reversions to the mean. So what I'm hoping to see is further continuation back up to the upside for Kadena, round about, once again, 86 up to as high as 90 cent. If this does happen, we can watch this bullish scenario rally up into resistance and we can short from a position of strength. What would we be doing after we short from a position of strength if this does happen and we come up to scenario one? Well, if scenario one comes up, we fill our shorts, what we'll be doing is targeting that next macro breakdown to the downside. Personally, I've got my eyes on round about 33 to 30 cent. This is the next huge cluster of support to the downside on the volume profiles, and you also have a rather significant wick of support right down here, basically right on 30 cents. So this is what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that in scenario one, we push up to resistance, we short from a position of strength playing the bearish scenario, and then we break all the way down to the next volume profile in which we'll be taking profit on our shorts, and we'll be moving the profit from our shorts into Kadena DCAs. That's something that veterans have probably been waiting for me to say for absolutely ages now. If you have been watching the channel, we've been covering Kadena for well over a year. We started covering it when we broke down from this pattern round about $7.50 approximately, and since then we've been on the sidelines. We've been making leverage shorts. We haven't DCA'd anything since we started covering this all the way up at $7, and we've been waiting for a major position of strength. And like I've been saying on the channel for well over a year now, I think the time to accumulate Kadena is not up at these massive price targets, super overextensions. A lot of people, a lot of YouTubers have been DCAing up at these areas where there's absolutely no volume support, and we've kind of just been seeing lower lows, ping-ponging up a little bit, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, as we've quite recently seen. We're now finally coming down to some of these huge macro areas of support. So this is really what I'm hoping for. Once again, I'm hoping we push up to scenario one, we come up to around about 90 cent, we can short from a position of strength. I'll let you know closer to the time if that does play out. And then we're hoping that we come down to these DCA levels around about 30 cent, in which case we can make profit from a bearish scenario, shorting, and then we can flip into a more bullish stance as we do come down to these really lower price targets for Kadena, filling our first DCAs for Kadena. I haven't purchased any Kadena, just so you know. I don't own any Kadena. I've never owned Kadena. We've really just been on the sidelines and just trading this for the past year and 6 months or so. So this is what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that we get to play both of these scenarios. However, I don't include what I want to happen in the charts into my analysis. As you know, we approach these markets very robotically. We don't include our emotions in the picture. So this is what I want to show you. I definitely think scenario 2 is going to happen. I do think at some point we're going to come down to 30 cent. We're still going to hit our DCAs. Nothing has changed in the macro perspective from that. If we clear up this chart, you can very clearly see, this is not the first weekly rally we've seen on Kadena in this bear market since, $28, $29. We are still absolutely making, highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and I do think that we are steadily approaching lower highs. Even if we push up to 90 cent, even if we push up to $1, these are still lower highs. And in the macro scenario, I think 30 cent is absolutely still on the table. But like I said, I also want to see scenario 1 happen. I want to see us push up to 90 cent and trade from a position of strength. However, now let's come over to what I'm actually seeing in the charts, not what I want to see in the charts, because like I said in the previous video, I was really hoping that Kadena gets a little bit of continuation, but what I'm seeing in the past few days develop is not too nice. Now, in the last video, we were seeing a few signs to be bullish. As you remember, in our last video, we talked about a confirmed breakout, how I was short-term bullish, all of that good stuff. Now, since that video, I'm seeing a lot of oscillators become very overextended very quickly, and I'm seeing some worrying signals play out in the charts, which I want to talk about with you today. So, first of all, on the weekly time frame, of course, we've had that stochastic rise to the upside, which we'll cover in a little bit more detail in a second. This is one of the reasons why we were flipping short-term bullish, because, in general, most of the time when you have a bullish weekly flip on the stochastic RSI, that is a time to be bullish. That is very, very true. If we come over to the daily time frame, though, I'm seeing signs that even if we are going to get further continuation, we are due for a correction right now. Let me talk about it. So over on the daily time frame, the MFI right now, we are all the way up at 80, so we're pretty overbought. A lot of liquidity has flown into Kadena, but we are still making lower highs. We're not seeing too much of a push further from where we topped out the other day at 69 cent. The stochastic RSI as well is all the way up here at 94. And what I want to show you is this doesn't play out every single time, but more or less what I've noticed is you have a high in the stochastic RSI. So I'm only going to be looking at the data points which exceed 80 and come into overbought. You notice that you come over to 80, you're overbought. You come into 80, you're overbought. You come above 80, this was round about 90, you're overbought. You come look at the previous top over here, you're overbought. You come look at the previous top over here, you're overbought. Now, what I'm really highlighting in here, you can see a pretty interesting pattern which is developing. It doesn't play out for every single data point because the stock very religiously flips between about 0 and 100, but if you are looking at the summation of all of these data points, if you're looking at the averages, what you'll start to notice with all of these data points is a lot of these tops in the stochastic RSI end up being highs, and the next top in the stochastic RSI ends up being a lower high. Now, there's a few data points which omit this. For example, these two data points over here. You notice these data points over here don't really fit this scenario over here. But more or less, you have a top in the stochastic RSI and it's a top in the price, top in the stock, lower high, 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 lower high. You get my gist. So in general, right now, seeing the stochastic RSI top out on the daily time frame is not a good sign. This could be a sign that we could be about to roll back down to the downside. And if we get rid of the stochastic RSI right now, yes, like I just mentioned 1 second ago, we are also seeing a very high overextension right now in the MFI. The last time that the MFI came up to where we are right now, 76, Kadena was priced all the way up here at $1.33. So not a good sign, but what are we also seeing? We're seeing lower highs in the price, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, playing out for the past 4 days. We've got lower highs over here. And in the chart, what are we seeing? The oscillator is making highs, higher highs, and higher highs. This is a sign of exhaustion because the price action keeps on breaking down lower and lower and lower, but bulls are trying to push us to the upside, and the oscillators are becoming more and more and more overextended, letting us know that bulls are currently getting exhausted in this market. So this is what I wanted to highlight with you. Once again, I'm hoping that this analysis is wrong because, like I said, we're sitting on the sidelines. Whether we break up or down it doesn't really affect us too much. We're hoping that we break up because we want to play both scenarios. We want to short from a position of strength. We want to buy from a position of strength. We're not willing to kind of trade in this no man's land where there's, not enough confluence. I always like to make sure that, everyone who's watching these KDA videos is pretty much at 100% profit all the time. We've never put out a KDA trade which hasn't been in the profit. So if I was a little bit more degenerative, I could be looking to trade this bearish divergence right now. But as you know, I'm very, very conservative with the trades that I do, especially when I'm sharing them to, audiences. Sometimes, 2.5 thousand people see my KDA videos. Sometimes it's only 1.5. But I don't want any of you to lose money. I want all of you, if you are trading with me, to be trading from the best positions of strength. And right now, while we're in this no man's land, it's really a no trade zone for me. So once again, I'm hoping this analysis on the lower time frames is wrong. I am hoping we push up to around about 90 cent. We do fill that short from a position of strength, and then we come down and buy from a position of strength. I'm very confident in scenario number 2, but seeing these overextensions and seeing this exhaustion happen on the daily time frame is definitely not a good sign in my opinion. So this is really what I wanted to focus on. I do also want to talk about one more macro chart which may fit this narrative that we may just be seeing a short-term bounce, unlike some of these higher rallies that we've seen before. So previously, you remember, we made videos like 42 days worth of pain, where we predicted since round about $1 that we were going to break down for 42 days. We saw that 42 days worth of pain, and what do you know, on the week commencing 42 days, we saw a sharp rally to the upside. Now, what we've previously highlighted is after these 42 days, you saw 131% rallies, 79% rallies, 81% rallies. And right now, like we said earlier, we're seeing about a 46-47% rally to the upside. Now, what I want to highlight in the stochastic RSI is obviously on the daily time frame. If we come over to the stock, we are very overextended right now. This may be a scenario that we've seen before. If we clear up the chart, what I want to highlight is, most of the time where you see a stochastic RSI bottom, you see a rally to the upside. However, there has been one scenario just over here where we did see a rally once the stochastic RSI bottom was in, but as the stock started to turn up, you can see that we actually made a lower high in the macro after the stock bottomed out. Now you can also see in this scenario over here, the stochastic RSI bottomed out quite a while ago and the high was round about, 89, 90 cent or so. And you can see that we're still making lower highs on the stock. So if we don't get continuation from where we are right now, we may see a break back down in the stock and another consolidation before that next major rally to the upside. So this is really what I'm seeing right now. I just wanted to warn you that potentially the KDA rally may be seeing exhaustion right now. There are a few reasons outside of the charts that we've just looked at as well, which I will quickly fly through. Number one, if we come over to the total altcoin market on this week, you can see that we are currently finding a sharp level of resistance underneath the 200-week moving average. We're seeing resistance underneath the weekly EMA ribbons. We're seeing resistance underneath the bull market support bands. Altcoins are not looking good right now. Bitcoin dominance is still shooting up to our price target up at 53%. I still believe the Bitcoin dominance is going to rise about another 2.3% before it sees any major level of resistance in the market. KDA BTC, while Kadena USD has been doing quite well, Kadena BTC is not looking too good. We did have a nice rally to the upside, and we are once again breaking down and pretty much at the same level we've been at for the past 2 weeks or so. So Kadena BTC is looking very, very weak to me. And if you remember, we were able to call new bear market lows on Kadena mainly because we were looking at KDA BTC. We were telling you KDA BTC is a leading indicator for KDA USD. So if we overlay these charts, this is kind of what we were focusing on. You can basically see this if I overlay this and change this to pink, because pink is kind of the color that's associated with Kadena. What you can see is the bear market lows. I've overlaid these, so the pink line is KDA USD, the green and red candle bars are the KDA BTC pair, and what you saw is Kadena BTC break down into bear market lows on the 16th of January, and we were letting you know, if this keeps on breaking down, then Kadena USD is going to see a breakdown to the downside as well. And it took a while. KDA USD was kind of just chopping around while the BTC pair kept on religiously breaking back down lower. And what do you know? It took like, 4 or 5 months or so, but KDA USD finally caught up to KDA BTC. And if KDA BTC right now is still getting continuation to the downside, performing extremely weak against Bitcoin, while the Bitcoin dominance is rising, while the altcoin market cap is at resistance, this kind of just shows me that, you know, KDA, altcoins in general, might be about to get exhausted, and this rally that we've seen is probably about to come to an end. So this is my opinion. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong on this because I really do want to play both scenarios. I want to see the price come up to scenario 1 so we can make money from shorting in a bearish scenario, and then I want to see the price break to the downside to scenario 2, coming down to a major level of support. This way we can make money from being bulls, we can make money from being bears. Like I said though, right now we're really in no man's land. So once again, I really want to highlight this. Bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered. Right now, if you're entering trades around about these regions, we're kind of in no man's land. I think it's a little bit greedy to be looking for trades round about this area where there's not too much to go on. It's very, very highly likely that, you know, we can whiplash in either direction right now. So once again, I hope we break up to 90 cent and then break all the way down to 30 cent. That way we can make money in both scenarios. I'm very confident we come down to 30 to 31 cent. Not so confident seeing the lower time frame exhaustions that we're going to come up to scenario number 1 anymore up at 90 cent. But as always, I'll keep you up to date. I'll let you know as soon as I see signs which are letting me know that we're coming up to scenario 1 or scenario 2. Either way, if we go up, we get to short from a position of strength. If we go down, we get to buy from a position of strength. If we go up and down, we can make money both ways. So once again, sitting on the sidelines, waiting for a position of strength to reveal itself. And when I think that position of strength is coming, when I think it's near, when a clear direction, scenario 1 or scenario 2 presents itself, I will be back on the channel and I'll be letting you know what I'm doing in these situations. But yeah, KDA bulls might also be happy to know you haven't heard me say this at all since I've been covering Kadena up at, you know, $7.50, $7 approximately. No one has heard me say, you know, I'm 100% going to DCA at a certain level. What I want to let you know right now is that I am going to be setting buy orders down for Kadena between 33 down to 30 cent. I have decided, I think this is a strong level of support for Kadena. If we break down lower, even greater, we get to buy from lower positions. I'm also going to be setting buy orders down at 23 to 22 cent, which is this huge POC, point of control. There's tons of volume down here. I think between 33 to 22 cent, there's going to be a lot of support for Kadena. So that's what I'm seeing. After this video is recorded, I will set my buy orders down at these lower levels. Hope you enjoyed the video, my friends. If you did, make sure to let me know down below by leaving a like and a comment, share the videos with your friends. If you want to further support the channel, feel free to click the join button and become a member today. Follow me over on Twitter at 618_cowboy. It's been your boy Cowboy Trades. I'm out. Peace.